Hey everyone, it's me again, and I don't have been posting much, right? Just I've been really busy and also recovering from monthly sickness because for some reason this year I've gotten sick every single month. So yeah, there's that, but we got some crazy stuff happening. New set this week, absolutely huge. Well, English set 2 gets released this week officially. Funnily enough, I think premium set and the festival collection gets released in like 2 weeks as well. That is a huge set. We also have BSF Sydney this weekend, which is also one of the reasons why I've been busy. I've been preparing for that. So there'll be streams up. Similar to like last year, maybe better than last year's Springfest. So we'll see some games, right? We'll at least be able to see some cool games. So yeah, pretty nice, pretty nice. I'm actually very excited to be looking at some of these Japanese results. This week it's only Hiroshima. And then we'll look at the Singapore one last week. Last week was only Singapore. I know it's like being a bit of a break. So we're looking at the raw result. We get to see the winners, right? This is the winning team. We normally just see pie charts. Now we get to see people. But yeah, I'm actually very excited to see, look at the results because as long as it encompasses Festival Collection, which is basically everything in Japan. I know Japan's on set 3 as well, but Festival Collection is such a huge boost, such a big set that it impacts them so much. That are very, very excited just to get more results in preparation for 2 weeks' time. So let's kind of get started. First off, we got Hiroshima. Winning team was these 3. This guy's got a pretty cool shirt. Right? These guys got wild shirts. Yeah, they had a cool certificate as well. Their team, I actually don't know the name. This is the team name, the kanji. And they brought some interesting stuff. So this is the post-ban Shiranui, so the ride line and all that, but it's still doing good. But I think some of the interesting stuff to see is one, the Ford combo, right? This guy is absolutely insane. Makes the deck, well, not insane, but it makes the deck good, right? The early game got nerfed, but this makes the early game fine. Right now, we don't have any restriction. So if this guy comes out with Shoujo Doji, will it still be good? Will it still be better? I don't know. We'll have to see, right? This pretty much just replaces the Shoujo Doji Grade 2 Izasaur, because you can't run the Shoujo Doji anymore, right? But this does get this becomes 15k by itself, yeah? And it soul charges. So it does 2 things in one, and you can CB1 and do stuff. So I think this could just be straight up better, right? Might not even need Shoujo Doji anymore, even if it's available once this comes out. But then you still need to ban the Red OT though. The Red OT is dirty. But the other interesting thing to see is that they've gone and put 2 of these defensing roars over the Sanctitude. Now, I think if you run 2 defensing roar or 2 blitz order with a Sanctitude, that's a lot of blitz orders that you can't use, right? But unless you're playing the Stoikea Lascaria kind of blitz order, but opting to take the defensing roar over the PG is actually pretty crazy, right? It's actually pretty crazy. It shows how much value some of these blitz orders are getting, I reckon. Especially, defensing roar, the Brand Gate one as well is really, really good. So yeah, pretty cool to see. I feel like if you run roar though, you're forced to run it with fronts because that's where the max value will be. I think the other cool combos that you have is you can guard with Blavoris, whatever the dragon is, and then bounce it back because you're running Esmeraldas as well, which is interesting. And we still have the combo of the energy cycle. So I don't know, this seems like a pretty cool combo with Lienard kind of falling off as well. You don't really have that Sanctitude guard restrict that you really need, so you can kind of afford to not run Sanctitude, even against Blangdemir, for example. When that's in the meta, you can kind of go, oh, the Sanctuary doesn't really work there too, so Roars are just better, alright? So, yeah, pretty cool. So, Hostage Lord as well, also finally getting a dub, right? This is running a 2-2 kind of hostage build, but then you have something like 7 draws, so hyper lame, hyper defensive. 3 normal draws, man. 3 normal draws, wow. Also running one of this blitz order. This is the one where you can call up all the heals from your drop zones, so even more defensives going. But that means you're running 4 Ezra's, right? Because they're going, yeah. They have 1 blitz order, 4 Ezra's. You can always salvage it from this. They're also running the undercover grade. This one bounces back to hand, right? So I guess this is a good energy outlet. You boost with it, bounce it back to hand. It's a 10k shield. You have less shield technically in the deck because you are running 3 draws. but you kind of make up for it by being able to guard with everything. So there's that. 4 Dioring for the massive salvages. So yeah, no Lials though. So I know a lot of the decks with Keta, when they're running the hostage build, they run like the Lials, so they can have that option to cycle back what they guard with. So if they keep on guarding with PGs, then they'll put the PGs back, and then it's good days. But I guess with Luad, you can focus on using the Diorings to salvage back your PGs. Then you can just kind of guard with them, and then just keep on using PGs until at the end, when like you've used up all your Diorings, then you can start using PGs as like the kind of removal photo with Luad. So I guess there's that, right? I guess there's that. It just feels like so many ways you can like lame it up, right? Get super defensive, make your opponent just feel bad playing against like a wall. And then lastly, we have a Seraph. So this Seraph is actually pretty funny. These ride lines, yeah, they're all the normal ride lines. I'm running Ava starter for the maximum, but you'll see this guy's got a weird banana in the build. Normally you don't really see the bananas. This is the Brandgate hostage card. So this, they run 3 of this with 1 of this. Should be it, right? So this is the set order that guards from bind. It's pretty insane how like a lot of decks are just putting this in just so you can get the extra kind of shield from the field. It doesn't even take that much. Like the investment isn't that insane, right? You can still fit everything in. This guy's running 4 Derry Violets as well. So a lot of decks going mass defense, right? This one's not running any Muna, so you're not getting the draws off, but I guess it's fine because you're using all the souls for like just defending. 3 Taser Age as well. 3 Taser Age, and that's kind of it. So yeah, that's just kind of it. But then what are you binding on the board? Because I don't think there's that much stuff left on the board, right? Does it get any no, you like the things on the board would be like Taser Ages. I guess this is on the board, right? This is on the board, and then your grade 2, but I don't think you'd want to. These all have intercept anyway, so I don't know. Like I guess the only thing you'll be guarding is this. This will just be in the back. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess it's kind of a weird combo, but good to see Seraph coming in first place, right? First place. And then in second place, we have Survive. I think this is Manzoku. And then look at these guys. Happier, very stoic guy. Got the cool Chiro Sendai mat as well. Some of these mats are crazy. Yeah. They brought a Blank to Me. So this Blank to Me running the same core as we've seen for a long time. You can replicate most of this in English. The things you can't, I think, are this one. This is a PR that recently come out. I didn't see this way back. So this would be a recent addition. This one, just when it comes on the board, if you have a Blank to Me grade 3, your opponent can't intercept, which is actually pretty significant if your opponent has like strong intercepts, but it doesn't get around the hostage cards, right? Because the set orders will move them, so it doesn't really get rid of that, but it's just like an added plus. The second effect is that when it boosts, if your Vanguard is a Blank to Me grade 3, you can grab a card from the drop zone and then put it into your soul. So it just builds up soul, similar to your Falcratias, but it's just like the slot that fits in the flex slot. The rest of the deck is just, I think it's pretty much core, right? When we look at one of these decks, the Blank to Me decks, most of this is just what you'd expect. So Shoujo Doji finally getting some real support and making it to the meta. I think we're seeing more Shoujo Dojis compared to like Archites. I think we'll see more later on. We're just going through the top 4 at the moment. But yeah, everything you'd expect in the Shoujo Doji deck, you run, I think, all the PRs. So 4 of this PR, 4 of this PR, and then run the Izaso, good stuff. This is the draw grade 3. Yeah, most of it is just pretty, I think it's pretty straightforward to build. Very cheap to build too, so you can afford all the high rarities. And then lastly with Chaos as well. So this team went pretty crazy, right? Third place team. This is some pretty cool names. Alpaca, Hero, Jun. I think we've seen some of these names pop up quite a few times. And they brought Shoujo Doji, so another Shoujo Doji here. And then they have a Messiah. So yeah, Messiah's been doing very well since Festival Collection. So really excited to see what will happen with this. Because once this guy comes out, bam. right? Well, it's not really a guy. But yeah, once this grade 2 comes out, I think we're gonna see a rise in Messiah, which might be pretty cool. And then after that, we have another Shiranui. So this one's not running any Esmeraldas, but still running 2 defending roles with the 4x just PGs. So no Esmeralda Blavoris combo, but you still have the value there. You have the front, you have the energy cyclers, and that's generally fine enough, right? And then and you also have OT, right? This combo with OT, the best. And then in 4th place, so this top 4, I have this shirt. Wow, this is the Uniqlo shirt. We have a Spike Sidecure. Is it Lienard? Yeah, they brought Lienard. So this Lienard's actually pretty insane. The only card we don't have into set 2 is this. This is a set 3 Stahana card, I think. But you can probably replace this with Diantha. This is just using energy though, so much more efficient. The Diantha will require CB. But most of this deck is pretty much buildable, because right now I think we're just missing Broccoli. And then we don't even run any of the PRs that the Unison Dress needs. So Lienard actually like reaching its final form soonish. And then they also brought another Shoujo. So yeah, Shoujo, wow, another one. Very, very popular. And then the Messiah. So another Messiah as well. Yeah, again, the grade 2, insane. But just overall, pretty crazy how Messiah finally becomes a good deck. And I'm sure someone in the comments are going to say, you know, Messiah's always been a good deck. Yeah, sure. Sure. But it's actually insane that this grade 2 is just, it actually just saves the deck. Okay, having an early game is a pretty good thing to have, right? When you didn't have a grade 2 game before, or any early game, and now you have one, and it's like multi-purpose because it also replenishes your deck. It's pretty good. It's actually pretty good. So yeah, we'll see how good Messiah is, at least in the English meta, coming in 2 weeks' time. But I personally am very excited. I actually have the deck. I just never played it in a tournament setting. I did play it. We've tested, of course, but we never played in a tournament setting because there were just way better decks out there at the time. Then we have the top 16 review. Right now, the meta is still filled with like so much stuff that you can pretty much bring anything. And I think like the diversity, I don't know how much that matters. Like, let's just quickly take a look. We are going to look at some of the other decks that are quite interesting that made it through that we haven't seen before. So we're not going to probably see Shinuis and all that in Vargas. I think they're pretty straightforward, but I'm sure there's probably some weird Varga lists that we saw like a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, in terms of the meta share, everyone's just brought like everything. So I feel like you have a good chance at just topping when you bring everything. But at the same time, if the meta is just so crazy like this, you might as well just bring 3 of the best decks and not worry about the diversity card. That's just it, right? Like this team, Shiranui, Maigo, and Varga, just bring that, hope for the best, because even if you bring a bunch of janky decks as well, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to make it through via diversity. So that's just my thoughts on where diversity is. Where the diversity cutoff, right, is actually pretty hard to determine right now. I think it's around 6 or 7. 6 or 7. So if we look here, I think it's 7, because if we see, you know, the Varga, Welstra, I think yeah, lots of Vargas, no Welstras so far. Only 1 Welstra and 1 Archite. So yeah, I think diversity is around 5 or 6. So maybe 5. 6 could be where the new age starts, because in top 4 we have a Shoujo Doji and a Shiranui. So I think in terms of like diversity, this is probably where it begins. Do we have a Luard? There's no Luard. So no Luard, no Lienard, but 1 Messiah. So yeah, 6 is probably where it begins, and then we just have like the 2 combos, right? So this team probably bought the Nadir as their meta deck and took Herminia and Stahana as their diversity decks, but it ends up that the Stahana is in the got wrecked in diversity, and the Nadir was fine. So that's just how crazy the format is right now in Japan, I guess, when it comes to diversity. So you might as well just bring best decks, right? If you think Shiranui is the best deck, bring that. Then bring a Nadir as well. and then bring a third. If you were a Varga, you wouldn't have made it. But that's just how it is. It's just all kind of luck sacky at the moment, right? So just take your best decks and hope for the best, or just win every single game. And you don't have to worry about it. In terms of like interesting decks, I think we've seen a lot of these decks, right? But a lot of Seraphs this time made it. So I think there's been 3. Is it 3 Seraphs or just 2 Seraphs? No Seraphs so far, but yeah, Seraphs kind of making it. We have the Archive, more Shoujo Dojis this week again. Yes, that's pretty cool. Shurinoi's just been flooding the meta. And then Luards, not that many Luards. And then Lienards. So we've seen some of these Lienards already. The Benny builds are pretty... I'm not bothering to look at the Benny builds so much because they're just literally just V-Spro builds, which is the easiest build to build. You just put the grade 2 and the grade 1 V-Spro and you're good. Or you just run... It's like Dark States, right? And they're all relatively similar. So... And they're not really that new. I guess the interesting is like no Dayushas, none of that weird stuff. So it's pretty cool that Stahana's still making it, right? Still a meta contender in a way. And then just looking at some of the builds. So again, like I said before, the Stahana stuff, really a huge fan. Always interested to see how they build it. In terms of how they're building it, a 3-3 scripture lineup, and then overall just the... I guess, what is this grade 2? This is the generic grade 2 for Stoicheia that comes out in set 3. So if they're running that one as well, I'm very curious. They just run so little of these, how do you say it, the support for Stahana. The main thing they're running is this grade 1, and this sometimes they don't even run this grade 2 because it's like a CB, but you can miss, right? So sometimes they don't even run it. And then this grade 1 is also a top 7 that you can technically miss, but you don't pay C before you put in Solvent. Like, there's like you don't really run that much support, yeah? The other ones that they're running, they have like just 4 of this and 1 of this and 4. So they're running the 4-4-4, right? But then they have like things like Prize Trident. So this is the tech that I like. So the Prize Trident, I haven't seen any Illipulse particularly that's available, but they want to run stuff where you can countercharge and soul in to build up, how do you say it? To build up resources. So this Prize Trident has been a tech that's been used, like, I think, since, like, week 1. And then this one, this guy is not running any of that tech. And running a 3-4... They're running 4 of this. So this isn't that popular, this insect dude. It actually is, like, defensive power, in a way. It adds itself... It gives itself power based on the amount of orders you played this turn. So you can play 2 orders. This will be, like, a 23k beta, 3300 Persona Ride. And that's like some defensive value where you can retire it and make your opponent's Regard. Pick one of your opponent's Regard, and when your Vanguard gets attacked by Regard, and then they lose power, right? Based on I think it's the original power of the opponent. So this one, yeah, running 4 of this is kind of an interesting tech, but this guy's also running different stuff too, with like 2 of the Burrow Mushrooms. So that's pretty crazy. And then the Nadir. So this Nadir is also pretty interesting. You might be thinking, how is a Nadir deck interesting? Well, it's just how they build it. I know they've been kind of fluctuating in terms of how they want to build Nadir, in that a lot of people in the beginning were mixing the RPDs and the snails, right, together, but then they eventually just moved full on to snail builds. Like, they took out all the RPDs, and then they've gradually started putting back RPDs until now it looks like they're just back to RPDs and then just 1 snail. So, I don't know. I think the evolution has been quite interesting, but overall the Nadir kind of presence in the meta has just totally disappeared, you know? How many meta? So there's like 1 here, 1 oh no, so that's not Nadir. I think there's like 1 Nadir, right? So 1 Nadir there, and that's it. So the Zorga lineup has just totally disappeared, which is very, very curious. I think a lot of people rate this deck really, really highly, and the fact that it's just gone is crazy. We're definitely probably going to see like way more in English, this for sure. But yeah, pretty interesting. And then after this, we have some of the Archives. So the Archive builds, I don't think are that different. They're pretty similar. The core is just all there. I think I've mentioned a lot of times how it works, so I'm not going to delve too deep into that. There's a few of them, and again, they all look very, very similar. And then they have this Roa. So this Roa, there's actually some pretty interesting stuff in this Roa deck. So first off, this grade 1. So this is coming out very, very soon. Set 2. And this effect is actually pretty crazy. So during a turn, if you don't have a unit with the same name as this one, all your grade 0 recards get plus 5k. So if you draw this and then combo it with mushrooms and all that, shouldn't it just get pretty overwhelming? You can even call down triggers, right? I remember back then we had that order that made all the zeros like plus 10k, and then I think they gave them like on hit bounce back. So this is just kind of, I feel like this is better than that because you're not playing an order. And the only downside for this is you can't play more than one. But like what? You have a column of mushrooms and you have one of this down. Your like Vanguard column like is 16, like 8-8. This column is like 20, so it's like hitting over triggers already. I feel like that's pretty dirty, right? The rush potential of this card is pretty crazy. You could even like try and up this to 4 and just try to hard mulligan for it every single game, but I guess you have to like combo it with other cards, which makes it a bit annoying. That's kind of the interesting card, I guess, of the set. And then it has like, well, the roller PR. So yeah, rollers. We've seen a few rollers top, and that's probably it. And then lastly, I have the Herminia list. I'm not going to go too deep into this Herminia list. Honestly, I like how Herminia looks, but I don't really play it that much. That's just me, right? That's just me. I think the cool thing about this is that the only expensive card it really needs here, unless some of these Herminia... Actually, some of these Herminia cards did get some kind of expensive, right? But you only need 2 energy cyclers, so that's cool. And then it doesn't look like you need that Divines set 2, grade 2, which is like, what, 50, 60 bucks or whatever it is. So overall, you know, it might be a good deck. It might be a good deck. There might be more support for it when Lyrical 3 comes out. We're getting a lot of reveals, right? So should be pretty insane. But yeah, Herminia. And then lastly, we have the Singapore stuff. Singapore had some wild team names. Let's leave it at that. So Team Natural 9. We don't have any deck logs for them, unfortunately. But yeah, Team Natural 9. A lot of meta lineups. I think if I go to a tournament, this is like... yeah, this is like a super meta lineup. Look at this. Varga, Shiranui, and Maigo, right? So no Luad. Pungal Pandas with Shiranui, Luad, Maigo. Team CC Alpha with the... No Shiranuis in this. Wow, okay. So they brought Luad, Ava, and Varga. And then... So everyone bought Varga. Look at that. Everyone bought Vargas. Yeah, and then Lim team with Shiranui, Luad, Vargas. So this is like the ultra tier 1 and tier 2 deck. But then we have the Tri-Reg. So deck of the best. Yeah? Bring in Ange, Luad, and Riviere for their premium slot. Natural 8, they brought 2 Night Roses with a Shiranui. And then we got Banlong with the Night Rose, Luad, and a Shiranui. And then Team SJW, right? They brought a Luad, Ange, and Shiranui as well. So pretty much the standard slots pretty covered. And then look at this. The V slots are just like mirrors of each other. And then in terms of, I guess, diversity, the premium slot had the most, except they brought, they brought the Riviere to kind of counter everything. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much all the lists this week. Again, very, very cool to see all the Japanese side lists. If there's any cool lists that you guys found, you can post in the comments so everyone can see. And we'll see you all next time. All right, bye.